Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS-FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS-FANS. Let's get to the news now, Browns fans. I want to talk to you about something that's been stirring up quite a bit of buzz lately, something that could have serious implications for our team's future. You've probably seen the headlines, read the rumors, or heard the whispers in the NFL community. Yes, it's about Shedeur Sanders, the rookie quarterback we've all been excited about, and an intriguing question that's been floating around. Is Kevin Stefanski intentionally holding him back? Is there some kind of sabotage happening behind the scenes? Well, I've been digging into this story, and what I found is quite fascinating. It's not just about Shedeur's talent, but about the bigger picture of how the Browns are managing their quarterback room and what it might mean for their long-term strategy. Let's start from the beginning. Shedeur Sanders, the son of legendary NFL quarterback Jayden Sanders, was drafted in the 5th round this year. Now, for many of us, that was already a bit surprising. Considering his talent and production at Colorado, he looked like a potential first-round pick, a guy with a rocket arm and excellent football IQ. So naturally, expectations were high. But then, as training camp and organized team activities rolled around, we started noticing something odd. Shedeur has been showing flashes of brilliance during OTA sessions. He's thrown some beautiful deep balls, showcased his pocket presence, and demonstrated a football IQ that's beyond his years. Yet, despite all that, he remains locked into the number 4 quarterback spot, behind guys like Dillon Gabriel, Kenny Pickett, and veteran Joe Flacco. And that's where the questions begin to pile up. Why isn't he getting more reps with the starters? Why isn't he even touching the field in the preseason or drills that simulate game situations? It's not that he's not performing well. In fact, repeatedly, he's delivered results that should earn him more opportunities. Twice during OTA drills, he threw 3 touchdowns in limited 7-on-7 reps. That's no small feat. And yet, he's still on the sidelines, seemingly boxed out of a chance to prove himself in live action or even with the first team. This situation has sparked intense debate among Browns fans and NFL analysts alike. Some argue that it's just part of the developmental process, that Shedeur is still a rookie and needs time to adapt. Others are raising eyebrows, suggesting that there might be something more at play, perhaps a coaching staff hesitant to give him the keys too soon. And this is where the controversy heats up. Because, as we know, head coach Kevin Stefanski has been cautious about publicly commenting on the quarterback hierarchy. He's emphasized that reps are earned and that they're not going to overanalyze the numbers or the visible snap counts. Still, the internal signals are loud and clear. Shedeur is not being promoted quickly, despite his evident talent. But what's really fueling the fire is what some NFL insiders and media voices are saying. On ESPN's Get Up, Louis Riddick, a respected analyst and former NFL executive, voiced some pointed comments. He said that Shedeur Sanders is the most talented thrower on the roster, yet he's not getting the chances he deserves. Riddick pointed out that the coaching staff needs to create a clear path for him to earn more opportunities, especially considering his skill set and potential to compete at the highest level. He was clear, Shedeur can probably beat out anyone in the quarterback room one-on-one, and his talent is undeniable. But talent alone doesn't guarantee playing time, not in the NFL, and not under a system that values veteran experience and proven results. This brings us to the core of the issue. Could there be an internal strategy, perhaps even a subtle plan to develop Shedeur more slowly? Or is Stefanski genuinely uncertain about rushing a rookie into significant playing time? Well, it's worth noting that the Browns have a pretty crowded quarterback room, with Joe Flacco, a seasoned veteran with playoff experience, Kenny Pickett, a young quarterback with some NFL starts under his belt, and Dillon Gabriel, a promising 3rd-round pick. There's a limited number of spots available. Shedeur, despite his talent, faces a kind of unspoken math problem, where roster construction and veteran presence might be overshadowing the raw potential of a young rookie. Now I want to pause here for a second. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let us continue with the big reveal, because this isn't just about Shedeur Sanders. It's about what this means for the Browns' future, their draft strategy, and how they're shaping the quarterback position for the seasons to come. Cleveland has a history of patience with their quarterbacks, but also a history of making bold moves when the time is right. Remember how Baker Mayfield's journey started, or how the Browns finally found their franchise quarterback in Deshaun Watson. Each decision was rooted in a combination of patience, strategic planning, and sometimes tough choices. Could Shedeur be the next big project, or is he being effectively stalled on purpose? That's a question that only the Browns' coaching staff truly knows the answer to. Another aspect to consider is Shedeur's own mindset. From the reports we've seen, he's a dedicated, hard-working guy who's eager to learn and prove himself. Inside the Browns facility, some sources suggest that there are people who believe he can 100% be the starter of this team someday. Kimberly A. Martin from ESPN Cleveland mentioned that Shedeur has been soaking up everything like a sponge, talking to Flacco, trying to learn from every experience. That kind of attitude is exactly what you want in a franchise quarterback. But the NFL is a game of patience, strategy, and sometimes timing. Looking at the bigger picture, Browns fans, what does this all mean for us? Well, if Shedeur continues to develop and impress in practice, it's only a matter of time before he gets his shot. But the question is when. Will it be this season? Or are the Browns planning to let him sit for a year or two, develop behind veteran leadership, and then step into the spotlight? That's the kind of decision that can define a franchise's trajectory for years to come. It's similar to what we saw with Patrick Mahomes and Patrick Mahomes' path to the starting lineup, or Joe Burrow's gradual ascent during his initial seasons. Sometimes, patience pays off, and sometimes, a quick promotion can be the game changer. And let's not forget, the Browns are in a pretty competitive division. The AFC North is one of the toughest in football, with the Ravens, Bengals, and Steelers always vying for supremacy. Every game matters, and having a reliable, experienced quarterback can be the difference between a playoff run and an early exit. So the coaching staff might be weighing their options carefully, balancing the need for immediate results with long-term development. Moreover, the Browns' recent draft history and roster building show a team that's not afraid to take calculated risks. They've invested in their offensive line, bolstered their defense, and added promising skill position players. Now, it's about finding the right quarterback, someone who can lead this team to consistent wins and possibly a Super Bowl. Shedeur Sanders, with his arm talent and football IQ, certainly fits that mold. But the path to the starting job might be more complicated than just talent. It's about trust, timing, and strategic planning. Now, I want to bring your attention back to the quarterback room. Dillon Gabriel, the third-round pick, has been showing flashes of potential, and Kenny Pickett has some NFL experience. Both are in their early careers but have different skill sets. The Browns might see Gabriel as the future backup or even a potential starter down the line, while Pickett brings that veteran presence that can help mentor younger players. Joe Flacco, of course, remains the experienced hand, someone who can stabilize the position in the short term while Shedeur matures. But for Shedeur, the question is, where does he fit in all of this? Is he simply a developmental project, or is he secretly being groomed for a bigger role? And that's what makes this story so compelling, because in the NFL, everything is about timing. Sometimes, a player's talent is undeniable, but circumstances and coaching decisions delay their rise. Other times, a young quarterback gets thrown into the fire too soon, and it backfires. The Browns are walking that fine line right now, trying to balance development with competitiveness. In the end, this situation could be a defining moment for Cleveland. Will they continue to hold Shedeur back, or will they finally give him a real shot? And if they do, what kind of impact could he have? Imagine a scenario where Shedeur, after some time learning behind veterans, steps in and leads a playoff push, Browns fans. That could be the start of something special. Or conversely, if he's kept waiting too long, it might create frustration and uncertainty within the fan base. So as we watch this story unfold, one thing's clear: Cleveland's future at quarterback is more intriguing than ever. And for us, fans of the Browns, that makes every game, every practice, and every headline even more exciting. We're on the edge of a potential new era, and I know we all want to see Shedeur Sanders succeed, whether that's this season or the next. The key will be patience, strategic planning, and believing in the talent that's right there in front of us. The Browns have a rich history of overcoming obstacles and making bold moves, and I have no doubt that the next chapter could be just around the corner. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Shedeur Sanders is being held back intentionally, or do you think it's just a matter of development and timing? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. We're in this together, and the best is yet to come.